Welcome back, everybody, to Top Buy, Top Sell here in the A1 Edge Finder, where, of course, we are going over our number one buy and our number one sell currently listed in the A1 Edge Finder. And we've made a couple changes to the Edge Finder recently that I really enjoy. And they're right here on our top setups page. So if you notice, it looks just a little bit different than it used to. We've actually added even more little bits of scoring information, and we've categorized it a little bit better. So you can see right here under this blue section, all of these fall under economic data. This is our technical data right here, sentiment data, and then our output, the asset, bias, and score. Not only that, but the coloring is a little bit different now. You see that we kind of have this gradient effect where when you're right in the middle, you're gray, and then as you lean more bullish, the color gets darker. You lean more bearish, same thing, color gets darker. So I think it looks really cool. I'm very happy with it. But let's go ahead and dive right in to COT data. We're going to look at COT data and retail positioning before we actually break down our top buy and top sell. And if you are unfamiliar with COT data, this is such an important tool. This is the commitment of traders data. And this is incredibly useful information, taking a look at what these big suits, these institutional traders, what they are currently buying and selling. So right here up top is our bar chart, just going in order of most short here on the left to most bullish here on the right. And right now they are heavily short the Australian dollar, the Japanese yen, and the Swiss franc. But they are big right now on commodities like silver, oil, and gold, as well as the JP 225. The most long currency is the pound, and the dollar is just above 60% at 60.7. We also have this chart right down here, which is my favorite feature of the Edge Finder, the latest weekly COT filing. The reason that I think this one is so interesting is because it compares last week's COT data to this week's COT data, and it's looking for changes in long and short contracts, how many were added, how many were taken away overall, and then it will show you the net change percentage. This means that as the biases or sentiment is shifting in the minds of the institutional traders, we can actually keep track of that and see exactly how they are thinking and how they're shifting their positions. So for example, I could see like on silver here, from last week to this week, we added 8,209 long contracts and closed overall 4,454 short contracts for an overall net change differential of 6.16%. So adding long contracts, closing short contracts, overall they're about 72% long on silver. So to me, that means that I can, it's pretty clear that institutional traders, smart money traders, are really liking silver long at the moment, which is useful information when you're taking a look at the charts. So that's a quick look at COT data. I'm going to go ahead and jump into retail positioning now, and let's start with just our major currency pairs. Taking a look at our major currencies, the market, the retail traders are really long a lot of US dollar pairs right now. They're long Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar, and dollar Swiss, which is all a bearish indicator for us, but they are shorting USD JPY at the moment, which is actually a bullish indicator for us. I'm going to add in the indices as well. Let's take a look at that. So NASDAQ neutral, German 30 neutral, JP 225 neutral, but day traders, retail traders are shorting SPX 500, UK 100, and US 30, all of which are bullish indicators for us. Let's finish up by just checking out minor currency pairs now. We can see we have a pretty big list here of long assets: Euro Pound, USD ZAR, Aussie Swiss, so on and so forth. They are most long NZD CHF at 82%. Again, these are all bearish indicators for us. And then our bullish indicators, they are most short Euro New Zealand at 81%. But yeah, we have a pretty solid list of bullish indicators, pretty solid list of bearish indicators as well. So let's check out our top setups. We have a pretty decent list this week. We have bearish, we have very bearish, a couple bullish as well, but I'm going to remove any neutral biases just so that we are left with bullish and bearish biases. And there we go. We have a pretty complete list here. And we also have a clear number one currency pair and a clear a clear number one bullish currency pair and a clear number one bearish currency pair. That's euro pound bullish with a score of +8, and pound yen very bearish with a score of -9. Market analysis, free trading courses, edge finder data, and special offers. What do these things all have in common? They're all available for you right now inside of our free Discord. You can click the link down in the description below to join the free Discord today and get access to all of this and more. Stay up to date with all the latest trading information and A1 content. And if you want to upgrade to our Gold VIP Discord that features every single trade that Trader Nick and our other professional analysts take, you can find the links for that in the description as well. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today. Euro pound is a pair that I'm excited to check out because I feel like I haven't seen too much of this pair. I feel like I usually don't see this pair on the list here, but today it is our top score with that +8. So let's start with euro pound, and then right after that we'll jump into pound yen. So we're gonna head into FX miners here. Pound yen is already pulled up. We're gonna pull up euro pound right here. And like I mentioned, it has a bullish bias, +8 score. COT data is a score of -1, and retail sentiment is also a score of -1. So taking a look at this, COT data is heavily long the pound at 70%. But they are also long the euro, just not quite as much. Both recent changes have also been positive for both the yen and the euro, or excuse me, not the yen and the euro, the pound and the euro. Retail is long euro pound right now, just barely over that, or right at that 60% mark, which is just enough to actually give us that bearish -1 score there. COT data also has that bearish score because they are so heavily favored long on the pound here. Seasonality is a score of +1. Taking a look at the month of March, historically speaking, over the last 10 years, euro pound typically does trade higher in the month of March. Our trend reading is a score of +2, and we can get a better idea of what that looks like by pulling up the price forecast page. We're going to look at euro pound. And here we go. So so over the past couple of days, this thing has definitely jumped. A little bit of a downtrend from the 7th to the 11th, but then we started making moves back higher. It was ranged for a couple days, couldn't quite break through, but yesterday to today, we have seen a real big jump in price on euro pound. Let's finish up with our fundamentals. We have GDP growth at 0% for the euro, -0.3% for the pound, MPMI at -0.8, 2.4 for the pound, retail sales 1 compared to -4, inflation in the euro area 2.6% compared to 3.4% in the UK, unemployment 6.4% compared to 3.9%, and interest rates on the euro are 4.5% compared to 5.25% on the pound. So there we go. There's all the data and numbers backing up that +8 score bullish bias for euro pound. Let's go ahead and dive right into pound yen, which was our very bearish bias, -9 score. COT data is a score of +1, and retail sentiment is neutral. So COT data, we already know that they are heavily long on the pound at the moment, but they are also heavily short the yen. Both recent changes, though, have been positive. When it comes to retail sentiment, they are technically just barely favored on the long side, just 4% over 50-50. So technically, yes, favored to the long side, which in most cases would be a bearish indicator for us. But in the edge finder, we don't score anything until it crosses over that 60% mark when it comes to sentiment. So 74% short here, 70% long here. Those are both above 60%, so those both get scores. The reason that this is 0 and neutral is because we haven't seen enough of a bias, enough of a clear direction one way or the other for us to really consider it leaning that direction. It's just too close to 50-50, and that's why it's neutral. Seasonality is a score of -1. We can see here in the month of March, historically speaking, pound yen over the last 10 years does typically trade lower in the month of March. Our trend reading is actually a score of +1, so I'm curious to see what that looks like in our price forecast page. Pull up pound yen right here. So pound yen up until today actually had been trading higher. We see that it was on a clear downtrend earlier in the month. It hit this low here on March 12th and then began trading higher. And in fact, it jumped over the past couple of days, but then had a strong pullback from yesterday to today. So currently trading lower. We'll see if it keeps up that momentum, but let's finish up with our fundamental scores. We have some really strong, fundamentally bearish scores here. Economy with a -6 score, inflation -2, interest rates -1, and labor market -1. So we already went over all those numbers for the pound, so I'll just talk about the Japanese yen numbers. In Japan, we see GDP growth of 0.1%, MPMI of 1, retail sales 4, inflation 2.8%, unemployment rate is 2.4%, and currently 0% interest rates on the Japanese yen. So there we go. There is all the data and numbers backing up that very bearish -9 score on the pound yen cross. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are interested in the Edge Finder and you want to check it out for yourself, you can find it in the links down in the description below or on our website, a1trading.com. And if you're interested in purchasing the Edge Finder, you can get it at a discounted price. You can get money off your purchase of the Edge Finder when you use promo code A1YT at checkout. Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.